Uh-oh, Vegeta bungled around Buu earlier than expected. Is this where we have to, play the sound, as it were? Hey folks, MasakoX here. With this particular scenario, it doesn't sound all that much of an interesting premise, with Vegeta becoming a Super Saiyan first. Okay, what good would that do? He was bound to get it eventually. Well, this is where things differ, you see. It all comes back to the notion that Vegeta is very full of pride. Every little action that occurs within his sphere of influence comes back to him in spades. He would feel some little slight towards him that would normally not affect a regular person, and he would then get very ired by it. He would feel everything was going against him, which means that if he ever got something before anyone else, or if he had managed to outdo someone, well, he would revel in it, and things would be far more perilous for those around him, because no one would actually get through to him. If he had gotten Super Saiyan before anyone else, he would make sure that everyone knew about it. That him getting this power was a sign from Saiyan history and destiny that he was meant to be the ultimate pinnacle of their kind. Only him. And would ensure their survival despite many hardships and losses. He was the Saiyan Bastion. Unfortunately for history, however, Vegeta proved to be the worst representative for this power. Or was he actually the best, given how Saiyans usually react to things like this? And in any case, if you were an Earthling, you would have very much detested this with every fibre of your being. Everything was about Vegeta. He was insufferable, and not even the likes of Goku could really cope with it for long periods of time. In fact, it even got the better of him, come the Buu saga, because hey, with a smug Jeets around for several years, we at least didn't get Majin Vegeta, we got Majin Goku, remember that? In the last part, Majin Goku had been defeated, and the spirit of Goku was cleansed from this control of Barbades. Whilst Buu had indeed been released into the wild, the Supreme Kai was doing actually, surprisingly, far more to actually stop him from doing anything bad. By capitalizing on his recollections from the past, Shin pandered to the infantile and naive side of Majin Buu in order to keep him placated and distracted from his more evil and nefarious side, which at the moment was internalized. And it actually worked. It certainly got rid of Barbady for our heroes, and when Goku was brought back with his mind recovered from the Dragon Balls, he was able to help the Supreme Kai with his cause, and act like the ultimate toy and temporary best friend for Buu, someone to play with, and it was really doing its job in protecting Earth from harm from the magical genie. It's essentially Goku doing what Hercule did in the original. Sadly though, Buu had also been putting Vegeta in its place, and when Vegeta saw Goku use Super Saiyan 3 without Barbady's control and outperforming him against the Blob, he had had enough. After years of being the best around, he had been knowingly outdone, and this would not stand, and he then punted Goku into the dust. But that proved to be a very bad move. Buu had befriended Goku, a real genuine friend, and this had then caused the pink cloud to form over Buu and bring out his evil side for all to see. Good Buu is staring back at his evil self and is very confused at what he had done. Sure, he had tried to expel his negative energy in order to keep his cool in front of his friend, but what he had created was something absolutely baffling. You Buu? The tall grey figure didn't reply back. He just simply stared down at the small tubby of frame. Shin though knew what this was, he could sense it. No way! Majin Buu has split! Goku, having caught his breath, asked what that actually meant. The evil half of Buu has manifested itself into its own form, though it doesn't look like the one I remember from before. With Shin looking at Evil Buu some more, trying to get a guess at what he was, exactly, Vegeta chose this moment to step in and save the day himself. He got in the way of the two Buus and gazed at the evil one. Am I supposed to be afraid of this thing? He couldn't sense an increase in power from this creation, actually. In fact, it was weaker than the single Majin Buu. Granted, this new lifeform had the majority of the energy within him, but the fatter Buu had held on to a decent amount, and this Buu was not in the mood to hurt Vegeta, having expunged his malicious thoughts into this new one. That was all in that one. Goku was desperately shouting at Vegeta to back off, but The prince ignored Goku, of course, after having dismissed him for showing off some more and once again trying to usurp his dominance. Evil Buu, though, spoke.
Saiyan, talk too much.
With a swish of his hand, he swatted at Vegeta, sending him into the ground, and began to wail on the prince, the focus of Buu's ire from just a few moments ago. Goku dared to approach the larger Buu and ask if he is okay.
Yeah, Buu okay. Not sure what happened to Buu.
We're not either. What's going on, you think? Goku could sense that the evil thoughts had indeed gone to that other version of Buu, this one actually being innocent, so he felt a little safer around this one.
That Buu bad.
He looked very seriously at this fight. The fight progressed and Vegeta was starting to power up more and more, and thusly turning the fight back into his favour. For now. Of course, this was making him grandstand like he would usually do.
Ha! Your flabby friend doomed you to failure by splitting. You should have remained part of him. At least in that state you might have stood a chance against me.
Shin spotted he was getting too close to Buu. Careful, Vegeta! Stay back!
Shut up! This one is mine! I shall put an end to this thing for you. Then you can get on with your miserable existence out in the heavens.
Evil Buu smiled horrifically.
Kai, right. You should be careful. Huh? What's that?
Evil Buu then used his transfiguration beam on Vegeta and turned him into chocolate. Good Buu face palmed.
Oh no, Buu don't like that.
Evil Buu was laughing at the prince's foolishness.
What a clown. Now Buu eat you up.
But before he could eat the Vegeta candy bar, a stretchy arm approached and grabbed it. Buu had grabbed it from his evil counterpart and stuck his tongue out in defiance.
Candy bad for you, bad man.
Evil Buu grimaced with frustration at having lost his prize. He then stretched out his own arm and trying to get it back, and we were now in the midst of not a beam struggle, but a massive tug of war between two elasticated arms. Well, this is the Buu saga after all. And Goku tried to break up the fight, but Shin prevented him from getting involved. Why not? I can grab Vegeta like that and stop the evil guy. We can't risk what happened to Vegeta happening to you. You're too valuable for our cause. Without you, there'd be no chance at stopping Majin Buu. There has to be another way, thought Gohan, who had regained his cool. We can't just sit here and do nothing. But before he could finish that sentence, Good Buu told them all to shut up with their pontificating, and then he lost his focus because of it. Evil Buu used his greater power to slap his rival's hand away, and he retrieved his prize. Without wasting any more seconds, Evil Buu swallowed the Candy Prince whole, and felt utterly smug at his achievement. Shin, of course, was horrified. He was uncertain as to what would happen now. This wasn't what he had imagined, but sadly, Vegeta's behaviour had led to this. He, through his Saiyan pride, had doomed everyone in a very bizarre and yet very real way. Evil Buu started to glow pinkish white as his body started to change shape, reflecting the influence from the candy bar. He started to resemble a humanoid more, thanks to Vegeta's influence, as well as shorten in height, because Vegeta. His clothes mutated into a blue top, much like what the prince was wearing, but only with baggier trousers. His head changed to be more spiky, and his antenna slicked backwards to maximize the illusion of being the prince. In any case, Vegeta was complete, and his appearance was very much that of the person he had now just consumed. It was almost as if he had risen to the surface because of his pride. Goku didn't know what to make of this.
Man, this is crazy. He not only looks like Vegeta, but his energy now feels a bit like him too.
Good Buu looked to Goku, his now only friend with a very furrowed brow. Buu was trying to think of something. He was hatching a plan.
Goku, Buu have idea.
Not now, Buu. I gotta stop Vegeta, or whatever he is, before he can harm anyone. You wait here with the Supreme Kai. With that, Goku rushed off to fight Vegeta himself, which left Buu next to Shin, only with Gohan as support. This was very awkward given the history between these two. Goku landed in front of Vegeta and tried to talk him out from doing anything bad.
Oh, Kakarot,
said the creature, with a deeper but yet recognizable lilt to Vegeta.
You are moronic to come anywhere near me. This Saiyan I ate is very mad at you. It has only fueled my power to even greater heights. To think I wanted to eat that thing that was once me. Oh no, this one was much more tasty. A specimen. It wants to hurt you. Badly. Will you give it what it wants?
Said Vegeta. Goku had no choice but to power up to Super Saiyan 3, but Gohan could sense that he was struggling.
Dad, no!
Wait, Buu have idea to help.
Not now!
Gohan powered up and rushed in to help his father. Now alone, Shin looked terrified. What would Buu do now that he was on his own with no one there to stop him from getting his way from back in the day, his revenge? Well, it actually turned out he didn't do anything except pout.
Buu had really awesome idea, but no one listened to Buu.
I can listen. Buu looked at Shin and pondered for a moment.
Okay, Buu tell you, but promise not to run away.
Shin nervously nodded. The fight between Goku and Vegeta began with Goku powered up to Super Saiyan 3, but feeling that this might have been a bad idea. Vegeta was clearly toying with him and reveling in the prince's internal resentment, but also being consumed by his overwhelming pride and arrogance. It was a big one. It didn't help that this evil Buu was also quite self-obsessed with his own power.
Buu can sense your fading power, Kakarot. You may be powerful, but you are foolish to rely on that strength. It has failed you, and soon you will regret ever crossing my path.
He whacked Goku out of the way, and Goku could feel his power starting to really drain, to the point where if he stayed in Super Saiyan 3, he would surely lose. He had to power down for the moment, but luckily for him, Gohan arrived to stand alongside his father. Dad, go and rest. I'll hold this guy off.
But Gohan, you can't stop him. Vegeta's influence is too strong.
Yes, Kakarot, run away. Know your place.
Gohan stepped forward and ordered Vegeta to take him seriously.
All right, I'll fight you, boy. You intrigue me, but you will lose, you know that.
Gohan powered up to Super Saiyan 2 and their fight began. In the midst of this, Goku was trying to keep a hold on it, but with him powered down to his base form and being tired out, he couldn't really see much of the fight, really only seeing snippets of it. Then, a tap on his shoulder greeted him. It was Buu, and Shin, looking quite interested. Goku, you're gonna want to listen to this. I don't know why we didn't do this sooner.
Yeah, Buu don't know either.
He then looked almost like he was harboring some kind of resentment to Goku. Okay, how can I trust you though? Buu then placed his hand on Goku's chest, and in seconds, Goku could feel himself recovering from his injuries and his fatigue. Buu had seemingly healed him, with no other ramifications, almost like Dende would. Goku was amazed by this and felt better than ever.
Whoa, you can do that? Now will you listen?
Goku nodded, and Buu then explained his plan. Gohan was giving it everything he had in this battle, but it was proving to be more than his body could cope with for the long run. Vegeta was letting this fight go on, wanting to rub it in for the young man to teach him a lesson. You see, by absorbing Vegeta, Buu had started to become consumed himself by what the prince was feeling and thinking. And all he thought of these days was how great he was, and how he was the best, despite the fact that people could actually improve naturally. It didn't occur to him. He didn't want to know that, and instead chose to blindly see the direct thing right in front of him.
Do you understand now? No matter how hard you try to defeat me, you cannot. You are no match for me.
Gohan was really trying his best to stay in the fight, but then he kept thinking. This thing was now more Vegeta than Buu. Listen to yourself!
Huh? What do you mean?
By eating Vegeta, Buu, you're no longer Buu. You think you're better now? Nobody's ego is greater than his. He's taking you for a ride.
What? No! Impossible! I'm Buu, the prince of all...
He then grabbed his mouth and looked horrified at what he said. Told ya, said Gohan with a smile. Who's really in charge of your own body? You should have stuck with the other one. Speaking of the other one, Buu was ready to face off against his own self, feet landing on the ground, and Gohan turned around to see not Goku or Buu, but a mixture of the two. Huh? What the... Dad? Gohan had no idea what was going on, but Shin arrived to explain. It's alright, Gohan. Goku is fully on board with this. Buu was trying to say that he could host our powers and absorb us temporarily to fight back. Your father offered him up, and they are now fused together as one entity. It's neither Buu or Goku anymore, and yet it is. I don't understand it, but Buku, as we should now call him, stepped forward to continue the train of thought, sounding a bit like Goku. It means that you're done! You mistake! He motioned a thumbs down, and this both angered and mystified the other Buu fusion.
Is that what we become? Relying on other beings to fight our own battles? If it weren't for this power and drive, I'd expel this thing and fight you by myself.
That's the point! You're too reliant on Vegeta's influence! You're gonna lose! Goku and Buu are friends, and friends fight as one! You never will. And the two stare each other down some more before sparks begin to fly between them. And that's where we're going to be leaving things right now. So what do you folks think? Will this be a battle for the ages between these weird hybrids? Will there be other forces that will put an end to this bizarre twist? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!